Hello, everyone. My name is Brianna Baker. I am a senior business management major from Louisville, Kentucky.
Hello, everyone. My name is Candace Yoheen. I'm a senior psychology major from Loudoun County, Virginia.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maya Hadley. I'm a sophomore political science and Spanish double major from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, my name is Nia Hayes. I'm a sophomore psychology major, Greek minor from Orlando, Florida.
And hello, my name is Rosie Jefferson. I am a sophomore psychology major, English minor from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And today, my group and I are going to be presenting on the Afro-Caribbean Garífuna people and their presence in Honduras. I'm now going to be passing it on to Maya, who is going to read the table of contents.
Yeah, so just to give a brief overview of what we're going to be talking about today, we'll start off with a little bit of history about the Garífuna people, and then we'll transition into their religion, their settlement day, some of their traditional cuisine, the Garífuna music and dance, some of the famous people that have come from this community, and then ending with some of the current issues that they're facing. And now I'll pass it to Nia.
To begin, the first Africans arrived on the island in 1540, brought over by the Spanish to replace the declining number of indigenous laborers in the silver mines. The second wave of Africans arrived in the 1700s, in which the Garífuna people were exiled to the coastal island of Roatan from San Vincent due to a 40-year rebellion. Now I'll pass it on to Candace.
Today, there are currently 300,000 Garífuna people globally. However, only 100,000 of those people live in Honduras. They usually live in the northern coast of Honduras, in the Puerto Cortes and Masca Cortes regions. They usually live in small towns and villages. The oldest Garífuna settlement in Honduras is called Punta Gorda, which is located in Rotan. The Garífuna people also make up the third largest minority group of indigenous people in Honduras. They're also referred to as the seafaring people because fishing is a huge part of their daily life and routine. They also make great fishermen and have a lot of knowledge about the sea. Garífuna communities are also fairly easy to access for anyone who visits Honduras. I will now be passing it on to Nia.
Garífuna spirituality and religion is a blend of rituals, ceremonies, and customs with influence from the Arawak, Black Caribs, and West Africa, more specifically Nigeria and Ghana. The most elaborate ceremonies when contacting ancestral spirits are dugu and chugu. Dugu involves drums, which are used to guide dances to contact ancestors in a form of spiritual possession. Chugu, also known as feeding of the dead, is a 1 to 2 day ceremony. The ceremony involves relatives giving large food offerings and sometimes sacrificing roosters. The buye or shaman will then place symbols such as maracas, wands, and bottles of rum onto their gule or altar to communicate with ancestral spirits. And now I'll pass it on to Rosie as she discusses Settlement Day.
Thank you. So an important and crucial aspect of the Garífuna people and their culture is a holiday called Garífuna Settlement Day. According to an ancient Garífuna legend, on November 19th of 1802, the very first Garífuna ancestors arrived to the coasts of what was then called British Honduras. In the pictures I included below, I wanted to bring attention to how colorful this holiday is. The colors of the Garífuna people are yellow, white, and black. And as you can see once again within the pictures, yellow stands out the most. Something that defines Garífuna Settlement Day is the music and dancing that can be seen and heard far and wide. The music is often dominated by sounds of drums and maracas, and the dances that accompany the music have a spiritual meaning as well as a cultural story. In the middle picture, you can see the variety of attire worn on Garífuna Settlement Day. Elderly Garífuna people oftentimes dress in traditional Garífuna attire. However, younger Garífuna people will dress in more westernized versions. Women often wear long and full skirts accompanied by fancy headpieces. The most anticipated event that happens on Garífuna Settlement Day is the reenactment of the first ancestors and their arrival to the shores of Honduras. Locals that take part in this reenactment will ride their boats to the shores carrying cassava leaves, plantain leaves, and sugarcane. All of these foods are believed to have helped their ancestors survive the long journey to Honduras. Here is a video of what this reenactment looks like. Another important aspect of Garífuna Settlement Day is the traditional cuisine that is served during the festivities. This leads me to my next topic of traditional Garífuna cuisine. The basis of most traditional dishes is coconut milk. The coconut milk is oftentimes accompanied by ingredients such as garlic, basil, and black pepper. On the far left, you see a dish called hudut. This is a traditional Garífuna dish, and it consists of fish boiled in coconut milk with a side of mashed plantains. In the middle, you see a dish called bundiga. Bundiga is fresh fish that is boiled once again in coconut milk and is served with green bananas and okra. On the far right, you will see the most popular side dish in Garífuna cuisine, which is called eriba. Eriba is a thin paper-like bread that is made of cassava root. As you can see in the middle, the bundiga is being served with eriba. I will now be passing it on to Brianna.
Now let's talk about the music and dance of Honduras and the Garífuna people. So the Afro-Indigenous dance native to Honduras is called punta, which is also known as punta rock, also known as banguidi or bunda. Punta is a very rhythmic style of music, as well as it is accompanied by sensual dance and a lot of hip movement. It is originated by the Garífuna people of St. Vincent with African elements. And here I have displayed a video to show the punta dance. And now I will be passing it to Candace to talk about the famous Garífuna people.
I will now be discussing the famous Garífuna individuals. The first person I will be talking about is Alfredo Bowman, or commonly known as Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi was born in Honduras. He is a self-proclaimed healer and herbalist. Despite not having a medical license, he claims to have the cures for HIV, cancer, AIDS, and many other incurable diseases. He practiced in the United States from the late 20th century to early 21st century before he passed away. The next person I'll be discussing is Georgia Flores. Georgia Flores was supposed to testify at the Inter-American Courts against the Honduran government regarding human rights. However, in doing that, she faced an assassination attempt. After that attempt, she fled to the US, and she has been living there ever since. The last person I'll be discussing is Miriam Miranda. She was born in Santa Fe, Honduras. She's an activist and environmentalist for the Garífuna community. She advocates for environmental rights of Garífuna people. She's also the leader of an organization called the Black Fraternal Organization of Honduras, where she helps to prevent land theft, and she also tries to help the Garífuna people to reclaim their ancestral territories that were taken away from them. She also works to prevent drug trafficking. The 3 awards that she has won over the past years have been the Oscar Romero Human Rights Award, the International Food Sovereignty Award, and the Carlos Escaleras Environmental Prize for her 30 years of activism. I will now be passing it on to Maya.
Yeah, so for the current issues that the Garífuna people are experiencing today, I kind of broke it down into 3 main parts. So we have tourism and development, human rights violations, and then just the outflow of the Garífuna people from Honduras. And so first, when we talk about tourism and development, obviously this is a region that is increasing its tourism just due to the economy right now. And so because of that, the Garífuna people are located kind of on the northern side of the island, of the country. And so you have a lot of people's livelihoods and land being threatened by companies, tourist companies specifically, and real estate companies, and the government. And so that kind of also has affected a lot of the Garífuna people's human rights. And so you have these big corporations seeking to take over their land. And so they have not done that legally. They've actually done it illegally and have contributed to forcefully removing these people from their land through things like arson attacks, or threatening them with criminal charges, or threatening them with guns. And so that's also impacting this outflow of Garífuna people from Honduras into other regions of the country, especially fleeing to like the United States. And so this is something that is really threatening the population in Honduras. And so next you can see just a couple pictures to kind of help explain and give visual. So first, I just kind of wanted to show how in Honduras, you can see the number 11s that are north is where the Garífuna people reside. And so this is kind of the land that's being threatened by the government and by these corporations seeking to turn this land into tourist destinations. It also borders like Guatemala, and it's also bordering the Caribbean Sea. And then next, this is kind of showing this outflow. And so when we talk about the migration from Honduras to other countries and people seeking refuge, this was actually after the recent hurricane that took place. And so you have these people, this is, obviously one method of fleeing the country, but also they're fleeing by flight train. And a lot of them have shared their stories with being put into into child exploitation. And then lastly, we just talk about the people who are rebelling against the government. And now I'll pass it to Candace to close us out.
Thank you all for listening to our presentation.